Okay, so here we are. The Pepe is back together here. What have I learned? I have learned that taking apart the Mitsubishi 6G75 engine is like sleeping with a brand new woman and learning all of its insides and outs. And I feel like drinking a big old glass of Pinot Noir. God, you guys are such pervs. I mean, what are you thinking about sex right now? Anyways, so, you know, I've taken this thing completely apart. Not completely, but, okay, so what have we done here? What have we done? Okay, so we've taken the intake manifold, we've hot tanked it clean, got all the carbon out. We have two sensors we haven't replaced yet, just for the fuck of it, the EGR valve, and I have one of these. I gotta spend the time to figure out how to, don't laugh, unhook this stupid thing. It's a bitch. It's probably really easy, but I've been consumed with everything else on the plan trying to execute me at the same time. Okay, we've taken off the intake manifold, we've taken off the valve covers. We started hearing the tap over there on cylinder 5. Okay, first we had a misfire, we replaced the coil, misfire is gone, we heard a tap. Replaced all the lash adjusters on the auto adjusters on the exhaust sides underneath the rocker arms, and then manually adjusted to 0.008 the lash on the intake valves. And what else? We have a new throttle body, just for the fuck of it, because they're so cheap. New mass airflow sensor over here. Oh, and then the stupid thing, I accidentally, putting the rocker arms back on, I accidentally dropped the lash adjuster through the oil hole, so it slid out, and it fell in the head, and looking for it in the head, I accidentally touched it, and it fell down the oil chute here, right into the main block. So I had to take off the oil pan and drop it out the oil pan. And that was a little sketch, because I was like, shit, what if it's resting on the crank, right? Or something. And I turn it, and it gets wedged in the crank and the rods or something stupid like that. But luckily, it dropped right out the oil pan, which I don't think you're going to be able to see anything here, but so I had to... there's the oil pan. So I had to take him off, drop it out. Obviously new oil filter. And that was pretty much it. Okay, so this is sort of moment of truth, right? I'm fucking nervous because I got to start it up if the battery's still charged. And hopefully I didn't fuck up a Mitsubishi 6G75 engine, right? Okay, so we'll see what happens. Let's pray. Okay, I'm kind of nervous. I've kind of gone through the checklist, of making sure I gotten everything. By the way, I pulled the stereo here. Ordering a new ISO adapter harness. This plug, kind of a bitch to find for a new stereo, you know, I do like tunes for goons. Okay, because I'm such an evil guy. Okay, with a bunch of sickos running around planet-wide. We're working with Jason to try to bully you to death since 5 years old, my sicko father. Anyways, okay, back on point. I'm nervous. I'm gonna pray here. Oh shit. Okay. Got gas for the injectors. Oh yeah, we changed new injectors. Okay, we changed out new injectors. I forgot. So new injectors. And the vacuum leak was the injector seal on 5. So I'm really fucking nervous here. So the vacuum leak, I gotta switch batteries here, this battery's about to die. The vacuum leak was a O-ring on the intake manifold side, which was a lot quieter. I don't hear that leak I heard before. It was really loud. Okay. Let's pray that tapping doesn't come back, although this tapping sounds, I hope that's normal. Not too familiar with this engine and newer engines for that matter, but I think that's normal. Okay. It's a lot quieter. Before you could hear the okay. Now we'll see what happens when it warms up. Hopefully that tapping sound's gone. Okay, so new coil packs, new plugs. I forgot. New coil packs, new plugs, new throttle body, new injectors, new lash adjusters. Adjusted the intake valve lash to 0.008. I don't hear the vacuum leak anymore. Okay, it sounds much smoother so far than before, but it's got to warm up. Okay, we're idling at 1,000. Before the older video, when I rested the camera, before when I rested the camera up here, remember the camera was shaking when I rested the camera. I'm just gonna actually, okay, so, you know, it's burning off some oil probably, burning off some, look, exhaust is a little, but it's cold out, so it's really cold out. It's about 40 degrees, 45 degrees, okay. I don't smell any gas. So that's good. Before I could smell some gas, a little gas coming out of the O-ring, but I didn't know what it was. It's a lot smoother than before. Okay, but we'll see what happens when idle, when it warms up and it drops down about 600 RPM at idle if it starts to get bumpy. I don't see a check engine light. I kind of want to let it warm up here before, because this whole engine's been apart. Okay, up. Okay, we're coming down to 700. It's not sputtering like before. My rear view mirror. Okay, so we're still warming up. It's much better than before. I haven't done anything like this in 30 years, since 16 or whatever. It's like 1988. 1988 to 1990. The older cars I worked on, 68 Firebirds, didn't have computers and mass airflow sensors and O2 sensors and computers, ECUs. Okay, so this is a whole different animal compared to what I worked on 30 years ago. And I have to deal with a planet of people trying to sabotage, right? Example, you go to AutoZone, they're trying to steal all your money and give you wrong parts, and you can apply that to the rest of the world since 5 years old for some strange reason. Well, it's because you're smart. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, but anyways, let's stay on positive here. Okay, so we've taken apart our 6G75 Mitsubishi engine. We've learned all about it. We can get really nasty with it if it wants me to. I know all about it now. I know how the whole smog, EGR valve, computer, the valve train. The only thing I didn't do is obviously pull off the heads and block and drop in a rotating assembly or do a valve job or anything. So we still have the 102,000 mile rings. It's much smoother now, right? Okay, so, remember before, so we're at about 600. Remember before how it was jumping around? Okay. We don't hear any tapping like before. Hopefully that won't. Before the tapping came after it started to warm up. So And I don't want to, it's kind of early in the morning here. I don't want to wake up the douchebag asshole neighbors that have been hunting me for 24 years here. And that's extremely nice being the case. Okay, so it's starting to warm up. I'm gonna shut it down and just check the oil and make sure. Oh, let's make sure there's no oil leaks. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I don't see any oil leaking out of the pan. So that's good. Okay. So much better. Oh, shit. Fuck. And now we have a problem. Same thing as before. Louder. You gotta be kidding me. What do you think that is? It's louder than before. Okay, so that sucks. Because what that means is most likely the intake has to come back out. Valve covers have to come back off. Fuck. And that's not cool. Okay. That's not cool. Okay, so that sucks. So, and that's how it was before. It warms up and it starts tapping. Now we have new lash adjusters. We readjusted the intake valves. And unless the timing belts or something, and it's off. Okay, so it's starting to warm up and boom. So I don't get why. I don't know enough about. Okay, so shit, back to the drawing board, because I thought we were sort of just gonna, actually I'm gonna see if I can figure out the location, if it's the front or back, but it sounds like it's by cylinder 5. Okay, I guess I'm gonna call it a morning here. What time is it? 5:04 a.m. That sucks. Okay, so we just did a lot of work, and now we're gonna have to pull off probably that back valve cover and the intake manifold again. But the question is, what's wrong? Because if we have all new, and it's still in the same cylinder, it's still in cylinder 5. Okay, what's going on with cylinder 5? And then it does it when it warms up. So I don't know enough. I have to talk to someone who knows their shit. What's going on with 5 there, right? Is it something, does it need a valve job or something, right? Okay, so and it only does it after it warms up, and you rev it, and sometimes it goes away and comes back. So someone that knows their shit will know what that is, but will they tell me? All right, so that sucks though. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a quick, we're gonna fire this car up here. I don't know where to put the fucking camera. We're gonna fire the car up here, and when it's cold, it takes a few minutes for the car to warm up. It's whatever's expanding. I hope it's not like a bent valve or something. in 5. It's coming around 5. It's coming around right here. Just, it's already warmed up, semi-warm. So I'm gonna start it up just to show how long it takes. So, and it's coming right around this cylinder here, cylinder 5. Okay, the guy that's been a troublemaker since the O-ring. Everything else is pretty good, but that one looks pretty fucking major. Okay, so that started after the O-ring injector seal broke on 5, so I don't know what would cause that. So the vacuum leak was from injector 5. That's when the tapping started, after trying to figure out where the vacuum leak was from a misfire on 5. So first we had a misfire before vacuum leak. And then I changed, and the computer was registering misfire, so I changed out the coil to a different coil. They're all new coils, but to a better coil. It's no longer misfiring, but now we have a tapping. Okay, so I don't know enough about engines here, especially newer ones, but to me it sounds like a fucking valve hitching or something. I don't know, but it's expanding, it's warming up and it's expanding, right? Unless if it's a collapsed lifter or lash adjuster, then they're all new lash adjusters. Same cylinder too. So we replaced the lash adjusters. We did a valve adjustment, 2.008 on the intake. And I don't know if that's intake or exhaust, but it doesn't sound good. Okay, so okay, so I did the research. Okay, so we still have our tapping, and there's kitty, there's Sylvia. Okay, so here's the deal. We still have our tapping in cylinder 5, and it might be one cylinder 1, 3, and 5. But it's louder closer to 5. So the process of elimination is possibly the timing belt. We're at 102,000 miles, stretched old timing belt with a bad tensioner or just bad belt. Putting the 1, 3, and 5 side out of sync, out of timing, obviously, because it's an overhead cam. There's a cam in each head, which I could probably do. I could do it, but I just don't want to deal with it because it looks like I might possibly have to take off one motor mount, side of the motor mount, and lift up, wedge the engine up a little. And this is just not the best working space for that. So I'm gonna opt out. I'm gonna opt out of doing it. It's only $100 in parts, some pulleys, a tensioner, and a belt. If that's not it, it could be a bad cam lobe. And then we're really getting into some work. And if that's not it, it could be a bent valve. I don't think it is. I think it's probably just a bad belt, an old belt. But I'm gonna opt out and pay the $300 labor. Just have someone do it. if I had my own garage, like a house with a garage, I'd do it. Doesn't look too hard, but I just, whatever, don't feel like it in this area. So that's it. So we'll play it by ear. So that's sort of the process of elimination is well, we have our neighbor here honking their alarm horn twice in anger, right? Because my kind is not allowed to breathe since 5 years old. How dare I breathe? With their twos tactic, and one of thousands of tactics. And so that's pretty much it. I'm gonna opt out. Whatever, just get it done. It fires up, it drives. I'm just gonna pull it out while it's cold before the tapping and have it towed and have someone do it. And so that's it. And theoretically I could do that and I could pull off the head if it was a bent valve and all that. But I just, in this location, it just sucks. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So that's what I've decided. And hopefully it's just a timing belt. Right, girl? And my puss is hungry. We're hungry. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Alright. So we gotta feed the puss. Cause it's all smiles and cries.